This is a quick video to quickly walk you through how to set up a live Q&A app on Pubble. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is to go to the admin section. But actually, if you're looking for instructions, the best place to start is to go to the Pubble Help Center. So if you click on the little question icon down here and visit Help Center, and then go down to Live Q&A, you see that there's an option here with instructions on how to create a live Q&A. Okay, so let me quickly show you how to do it. Okay, so we need to go to the admin section, and you do that by clicking on the app down, or on the little admin icon down here, and click on Admin Center, and that brings you into the admin section of your Pubble team. The next thing is to click on Apps, and notice here, right, there are 4 different types of apps that you can deploy in Pubble. Messenger is the live chat style one. Community Q&A is the Amazon style questions and answers threads that are on your product pages. And live Q&A is the app that we're looking for, and you can also deploy a live blog. So we're going to click into live Q&A because that's the type of app that we're deploying today. And the next step then is just simply to click on the green button here, plus new app. So you click on that and you give the app a name. And I just call this one Demo Live Q&A app, and I click on Add. And what you'll notice now is that the app that I just created will be added to the left-hand menu over here, and by default it's selected. So what we got to do here now is just apply the settings that we need for our app. So I'll quickly walk you through those. So this is the app name here. That's how it's displayed in the dashboard. You can also give it a display name, and this is the name that will be displayed on the client side, so on your public website when you actually deploy the app. So I'll call this, I'll just call this Live Q&A, because obviously your display name could be the same across multiple events. So it's handy to have a different app name, something that you could append the date on here, or something like that would help you to distinguish the apps if you've got multiple apps with the same name. Okay. The next thing is to decide whether you want the app to be moderator or not. If you enable moderation, what that will do is no questions will be posted publicly on the page without being approved by a moderator or being answered by a moderator. You can also set to all questions private. For a live Q&A event, we would strongly kind of discourage you from doing that. What it will do is basically keep everything. You won't essentially get a live public thread. Everything will be between you and the person who's participating in the event. You can also choose to mute the sounds. SSO is a single sign-on, and you only really need that if you're deploying the Pubble's live Q&A app inside the site that people have already authenticated with, so they've already signed in. And obviously in that case there, you wouldn't want them signing in twice, so that's what SSO is about. You can also change the language that's used in the application. Obviously the default one is English, but you can choose from all these different supported languages here. And what that will do is change the UI so that, you know, if you select Polish, it will put it in Polish, and the other languages there as well. Okay. One thing to remember, notice that there's multiple save buttons here. For each panel, to make sure whatever changes that you make, just enable those or click on save. It's very important. Otherwise, if you navigate away from the app and don't click save, then your changes won't be saved. Okay, this over here then login and posting. Twitter, Facebook, anonymous, and those are the default ones. If you don't want to support, say if you didn't want to support Twitter, you just uncheck it and click on save. The stream options then, that's the public stream, so in the default size of the stream when it loads, 20 is the default, but you can reduce that down to 10 if you wish, or increase it up to, I wouldn't recommend increasing it up to 100 because it just puts a lot of pressure on the client-side browser. So basically I think between 10 or 20 is probably is fine for the vast majority of events. And then that's just the default size. As the event grows, more and more updates will be pushed into the client's page. You can also change the order of the stream. So the default order is the date posted, and you can also change that to last updated. So that would basically mean that the tiles with the latest responses. If you order by that, the tiles with the latest responses will be on top of the stream. Okay, this thing here called external host URL. What you need to do is there's a HTML that you need to host on your own. If you want to define this external host URL, there's a HTML that you can host on your own site, and basically wherever you put that on your website, you need to put in the URL in here. For example, you can just see here Vulture. They have a URL called live blog, and then the HTML that's required for the mobile experience is loaded from that page. If you don't set a URL here, it will default to loading from Pubble. The experience is exactly the same. The only difference is that if you define the URL, the HTML will load from your site. If you don't, it will load from Pubble. And you can ignore the app script there. That's just something that Pubble can do. The next step then, if you click through to the next tab at the top here, is where you define the moderators. And basically you can add in any moderators that are part of your team. And when you add them, you see there that when you add them, they get obviously added to the list of app moderators. And what that means, right, is that questions from the app will appear in their Pubble instance. You can also make them a VIP, and basically marking somebody as a VIP kind of denotes that they're the person that will go and answer the questions. There's no, in terms of functionality, there's no difference between a moderator and a VIP. They have the exact same role as such. It's just that the VIP is kind of like got an extra marker that says, okay, this is the person that's actually answering the questions. Over here as well, see the blue ticks next to questions, comments, and assign. What that actually does is, well, they're notification options. So if you don't want to get notifications during your live event, just uncheck those. And once you uncheck them, they're auto-saved. You can add multiple moderators. We've live events with as many moderators as you wish in the event. Okay, in the look and feel tab, you can some clients decide to customize the look and feel by applying custom CSS to the app, and that's where you would do that in here. And then the last thing for a live Q&A event, it's important to set the schedule. So there's a couple of options in here that I'll just quickly run through. By default, allow posts before the event. If you uncheck that, that will mean that the input box is disabled before the event goes live, and it will only be enabled when the event actually starts. Likewise, if you uncheck allow posts after the event, that will mean that the minute that the app expires or that the event is actually over, the input box will be disabled, so no new questions can be submitted. Okay, so down here then, when you're setting the actual app timings, the default time zone there is GMT, but you can set it to whatever time zone you're in, and then set your event time accordingly. So if I wanted to set an event for tomorrow, the 11th of January, I would just select the 11th, and then I would click into the times. So I'd say, okay, we're going to do this one at 12:30 p.m. and then I would set end time for the 11th, click down on the clock, and I'll say, okay, we'll do this for 1 hour p.m. and so I change that to 1:30 p.m. So that would be a 1 hour event running on Wednesday the 11th at 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. That's the event time set then. So down in the last section down here is basically kind of three statements that reflect the, okay, so before the app goes live, join us, Q&A, blah blah blah. You can set your pre-event blurb right there, and then you can say something like we're live. Blah blah blah, and then you say something like thanks for joining. So there are just kind of three statements that will automatically get pushed into the page just as the app is as it goes through the different parts of the life cycle of the app. And there, basically, that's all of the configuration options that you can do. Notice here to actually deploy the app, then you click on the deploy button up here and copy that code snippet. Click on copy, and you basically then would insert that code snippet, paste that code snippet into the page that you want to host the event on. There's also an option up here to preview the application. So if you click on that, what that will do is load a preview of the app from Pubble. And this is the app that I just created here. Notice that it's starting in 1 day. It's live Q&A. This is where I set the pre-event, so join us for our live Q&A. That statement will update as the app actually goes live. The reason that I can actually see an input box here is because I'm a moderator. I'm the guy who actually created the app. But if a member of the public came here and weren't signed in, there would be no input box here. It would just show them the add to calendar and when it's going live. So that's essentially how to create a live Q&A on Pubble. It's really simple. Obviously, I went through kind of every option there, so this video took a little bit longer than it will take you to do it. You can do it. If you can't create an app in less than a minute, I would be very, very surprised. So just to quickly recap, like the main settings that you need to look at are the app name, the type of login and posting that you want to do. There's a lot of kind of default options there that you don't need to check. Like stream options, probably leave that to default for most instances. That'll be fine. The external host URL, most clients don't bother setting that, and you don't really need to if you just leave it to default, and Pubble will take care of it for you. If you're happy with that. And that's it. Just the one thing I would say: remember to click those save buttons, because if you don't, your settings won't be saved. Okay, so thanks for watching.